Hello and welcome. I'm Tracy Pa with another edition of Scope. The CIMC Regional Development Forums held across 4 regions between March and June 2026 have highlighted a strong public demand for a bottom-up approach to development rather than the traditional top-up model where government and authorities dominate decision-making. A bottom-up approach places communities at the center of planning and implementation, allowing local voices to shape policies and development priorities.
Between March and June 2026, the Consultative Implementation and Monitoring Council hosted regional development forums across 4 regions. These forums highlighted key issues affecting the country's economic development since Papua New Guinea's independence. The forums brought together provincial leaders, the Department of National Planning and Monitoring, civil society organizations, church groups, businesses, and academic institutions. Key government departments such as Health, Education, the Department of Provincial and Local Government, the Prime Minister's Office and National Statistics Office, as well as representatives of women and youths were also involved. Its purpose is to take the government's high-level Reset 50 strategy out of Waigani to bring it closer to the people to ensure direct engagement, awareness and ownership at the provincial and community levels. Speaking in an interview, Institute of National Affairs Executive Director Paul Bakker said the CIMC team visited 4 provinces: East Britain, Western Islands, Madang and Oro to host the forums. One major issue raised during the forums was the strong public demand for a bottom-up approach to development, instead of the traditional top-down model where discussions are controlled by the government.
Yeah, there was certainly a major focus on, and you heard this in all of the regional forums. We heard it from Rabaul, we heard it in Papandet, well, we heard it across the board. Can the government and the country focus on people first? Not the economy first, not roads first, not other things first, or not making people wealthy first, but people first. So ensuring there are services and opportunities made available to people so that people can participate in the economy, so people can access education services, that they can basically engage and improve their lives and opportunities. So people first, and that included empowering the local level governments, which have been ignored really since independence, and focusing on enabling them to play their part at the local level, because the local level councillors and other officials at the local level are the closest to the local community. They must play an important part, and they're in the constitution. So there was a lot of emphasis on that, and then also making sure that they are resourced so they can actually play their part, and that you don't have pockets of funds, whether it's in big state-owned enterprises or even in the DDAs, where funds are kept aside by leaders or by statutory corporations for their own needs, but funds are made available to actually deliver services at the local level. Yeah, so that was a major focus of all the forums.
A bottom-up approach puts communities at the center of planning and decision-making. It allows local people to have a say in policies and development priorities. This includes improving access to basic services, strengthening local-level governments, and helping citizens to take part in the economy. Local governments, being closest to the people, must be properly supported and funded. Since Papua New Guinea gained independence, development progress has not been consistent or effective. This is largely due to weak implementation of policies, which has contributed to an unstable economy. One key reason is that most decision-making body has remained at the top level, with little input from ordinary people. Other important issues raised included the need for governance reforms, fair and transparent elections, better data systems, and support for private sector growth. There was also a strong call for the government to focus on its core responsibilities such as infrastructure, health education, and service delivery.
The public response, significant dissatisfaction with the performance of services that are being delivered. So, as in the regional forum in Popondetta, we had breakout groups focusing on different issues, on the reset at 50, on governance and the availability and use of data. We had a focus group on health and on education, one on cross-cutting issues that related to gender, climate change, disability, and then finally we had a group focused on decentralization.
Through this forum, CIMC has been able to gather the concerns and views of people across the country, especially on what has gone wrong in policy implementation since independence. The goal is to support the Reset 50 recommendation and turn them into real actions. There is a clear expectation that Papua New Guinea must improve governance, strengthen accountability, manage the economy better, and reduce inefficiencies. Looking ahead, the National Development Forum will bring together all the views collected from the regions. Representatives, along with government officials and civil society groups, will take part in discussions aimed at aligning national priorities with the needs of the people.
You're watching Scope. Department of Health has launched the country's first HIV self-screening program, a milestone achievement in prevention and empowerment. The National Department of Health has taken a decisive step in its fight against HIV. At the launch of the country's first HIV self-screening program, leaders, partners, and communities came together to mark a milestone in prevention and empowerment.
Health Secretary Pasco Kase declared HIV/AIDS a national emergency backed by a 15.7 million kina budget. He emphasized that leadership and funding are aligned to tackle the epidemic head-on.
The government of Papua New Guinea, I am pleased to officially launch the expansion of the HIV self-screening program and receive the first shipment of 26,000 HIV self-test kits. The first half of a total consignment of 52,000 kits that will be distributed across the country. These kits represent more than a new testing tool. They represent our commitment to HIV services, more accessible, more responsive, and more centered on the needs of our people. Despite significant progress, HIV remains a major public health challenge in Papua New Guinea. Too many people still do not know their HIV status, and this continues to be one of the greatest barriers to accessing treatment, care, and prevention services. If we are serious about reducing infections and improving health outcomes, we must continue to find new ways to reach people earlier and more effectively. HIV self-screening allows us to take services closer to Papua New Guineans, into communities, workplaces, and homes, into the hands of individuals themselves. It provides a safe, convenient, and confidential option for people who may not have otherwise have access to testing services, including those living in remote areas or facing stigma and other barriers. We have already seen encouraging results from the initial demonstrations in the National Capital District. Many of those who have accessed self-screening have never tested before. This confirms that HIV self-screening can help us reach populations that traditional facility-based services are not reaching.
UN Resident Coordinator in Papua New Guinea, Salini Bahaguna, commended the government and demonstrated the kit herself. She showed how simple the process is. Swap the gum, wait for results, stressing confidentiality and dignity.
Spatula. Do that now. And next it tells me to go first this way. I take this flat pad. This is the flat pad against my gum and swab it along my upper gum once. And then it says turn it around and lower gun. Now it tells me to put this inside here, like so, and leave it in there for 20 minutes. And I'm styling myself now. 20 minutes.
Australia's DFAT representative, Dr. Ramesh Al-Azhar, said the rollout is not only about kids, but about ensuring access across diverse communities.
Australia supported the initial rollout and procurement under the demonstration project, helping to establish and test this model. The focus now is to scale it up and to increase the access, ensuring that people across provinces, including those in remote and underserved areas, can access testing is very critical. The country has 85% of its population living in rural and remote areas, so we need to reach these people. And this is part of the health equity for all of us to consider. So I'd like to reaffirm that Australia remains committed to supporting PNG, to scale up this approach and to strengthen delivery systems and to ensure people who test positive are linked to treatment pathways. We acknowledge the leadership of the National Department of Health and the continued contribution of our UN partners and FHI 360, KPAC, and all the other partners. This is a collaborative effort.
Dr. Nano Gideon outlined the roadmap. Rollout begins in the National Capital District, Morobe, Eastern Islands, and Western Islands. He reminded the audience, you cannot treat unless you test.
2025, we reached 200,000, but that is still not reaching the key population. The key population is a group of people like who are always at harm's way in terms of the behavior and because of the so many challenges that we have across country. So what is basically happening now is we want to reach those unreached in the safe space. And it's very important that as part of the National STI HIV Strategy 2024 to 2028, we talk about testing. Because like as mentioned by many of our colleagues, you cannot treat unless you test. So HIV is diagnosed through testing. Testing is very important, and by design we've been using blood. And once to draw blood has been a challenge, and in the last so many years we've been training health workers. And we've tried to venture into training a community, and as per the national health policies, like you have to be a health worker to prick.
Officials confirmed that 52,000 HIV self-screening kits have been procured, with 26,000 already in the country and ready for immediate distribution. Community leader Leslie Bola described self-screening as a milestone achievement. He said it restores dignity, empowers individuals, and places prevention directly in the hands of the people. Bola stressed that strong referral pathways are vital, linking those who test positive to treatment and those who test negative to prevention services such as PrEP.
Missiles and this, the HIV rates is rising, and it's a big issue for us at Papua New Guinea. So communities in our country are supporting our health system to get testing, more testing, and put people on treatment. So for this ones, if you are negative, we encourage our people who's done tests to go on PrEP. That's another new commodity that's come out. And also, if you're positive and you get a pensimetry result from the clinics, and you go quickly on app, and then that's how we're saving lives. So I'm really proud that this product has come on board, and my communities plus all the other agencies who are doing community work in the country will be really proud to have this, because they'll be carrying them in the pack bag, they're in the baskets, and they'll be learning to produce it as well.
UNICEF officials confirmed that cost of each HIV self-screening kit is about $1 equivalent to 44 kina 33 toya. With 55,251 kits valued at USD 55,251, the investment amounts to approximately $239,000. This affordability ensures families across Papua New Guinea can access prevention without financial burden. The rollout was framed not only as a health initiative, but as a national priority. Prevention of mother-to-child transmission was emphasized as a critical opportunity, ensuring women and children benefit directly from early testing. Dr. Gideon closed by thanking health workers, partners, and communities. He tied prevention, empowerment, and collaboration together as the pillars of PNG's HIV response. At this launch marks a new chapter. The message is united. Self-screening is simple, private, and empowering. This is not just a health initiative, it is a step toward dignity and self-reliance for every Papua New Guinean.
Drop a like or comment on this story later on the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Rigorized project captured in MTDP4 to be the first commercial rice project in the country. Rigorized Farm is leading the way in commercial farming, tapping into an important cash crop production. Due to its capability, the PNG government has selected the company under the Medium-Term Development Plan for 2023 to 2027 to be the first commercial rice project in the country. The project steering committee was set up to lead this project. The committee visited the site recently to see firsthand how things are progressing. An approximate 3-hour drive out of the nation's capital brings you to the commercial hub of Rigorized Farm, the project steering committee, consisting representatives from the National Planning, Treasury, Finance, Agriculture, the Department of International Trade and Investment, and the Rigor District Development Authority, visited the project Rigorized Farm early last month to check on its progress before it set for its meeting. The visit was to better understand the scope of the project. The committee members needed to visit the project site ahead of the meeting. The field visit aimed to understand the current status of work, operational challenges, infrastructure development, land preparation activities, and overall project conditions. The PSC meeting took place the day following the visit on Friday, 5th June in Port Moresby. It was an important meeting to provide coordination and oversight in assessing implementation progress, operational performance, challenges, and the strategic direction of the rice project. PSC co-chair Juliana Rubak said the establishment of the committee follows the government plan under the Medium-Term Development Plan for 2023 to 2027 to have a commercial rice project in the country. Rigorized was chosen as a lead project to meet the government's plan.
We are producing on 100 hectares. To expand, then I mean, this association is in line with the target that is in MTDP4 under agriculture, that we want to ensure that we meet one commercial mechanized project in Papua New Guinea to reduce our import bill and to contribute to food security because our population is growing.
Rigorice Managing Director Jeffrey Kennedy said more than 600 tons of rice has been produced since its establishment in 2017. The first sale of rice was in 2018. It was only the first phase of the project.
2017, we literally planted the rice by hand. I was part of the team here. It's back-breaking, it's difficult job. First sale would have been towards middle of 2018, first sale.
The government will now support the second phase, which will include the expansion of the project. 20 million kina was allocated for the expansion of the project. Currently, 500 hectares of land was cleared for the expansion. He said the aim is to plant rice over 2,000 hectares to meet government expectations.
To give you guys an idea, there's more than 22,000 rice varieties. 22,000. You know, on the rice soil, 22,000 plus now. So, which one is the right rice for this soil, this climate? So, there's all these factors that you got to consider. So, when you say I want to do a rice farm, okay, I want to get seed by using. You know, have you tried it before? Does it taste good? What is the yield like? How does it react to the, local pest? You take it. So, we've been through based on the experience of Taiwan, Philippines, Indonesia, because they've got similar climate like us. We have tried the different varieties that they have, okay, and based on that we come up with our own Rigorice variety. So in that 7 years of hard work, you will see that there's a different pest will come up. So initial rice seeds that we had, when the first pest came, it was all gone. There was nothing we can do. Doesn't matter how much herbicide or pesticide you use, doesn't change it, it's gone. Okay, and then we had different varieties where it couldn't compete with the weed. So it doesn't matter how much herbicide you use, the weed still kills the rice. So you got to find the right variety. So when people say, I want to be a rice farmer, very good. What's your plan? Have you tried it before? So that's why, like I said, I appreciate what the government is doing. Let's focus on one specific project. Let's make it an example, and then we duplicate it. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. Yeah, so in Rigorice, we have a program with the support of the government to teach farmers. We've had farmers coming in from Goroka, farmers coming in from Sipik. They've gone back, and in their own way too, they've learned from here, they've gone back, and their own success stories where they come from. So we're more than happy to accommodate any leaders that want to send local farmers to learn from us. Like I said, no need to reinvent the wheel. We've already done it here, and we are more than happy to help because PNG blew me here.
Currently, the project first phase is operational with ongoing milling, packaging and distribution of rice to wholesale. Now with the expansion of the project, the question is whether or not the farm has the capacity to mill, package and sell. Mr. Kennedy said the farm has the capacity due to the inclusion of bigger milling machines that are currently preserved for that purpose.
As you can see, that's all the big mills here. These machines, when they are running, they produce about 120 ton an hour. So it's for our 100-hectare field, it's too big. We really can't use it. So once we have the government-funded fields ready, that's when we start having these machines up.
Kennedy encouraged Papua New Guineans to take ownership and commit to having a proven case before calling for government support. He used his business as an example, saying he uses his own funding to grow rice project. Now that the project is operational, he can seek government support for additional funding to expand.
One thing first, get it right, get it to become a success story, so then we can replicate it elsewhere. We do a small farm here and then a small farm there and a small farm everywhere, and then they all fail at the same time and there's no real results. Like for me, I didn't expect any government support until I have a proven case. So my own investment, and I encourage other Papua New Guineans who've got some money, you go and you do it. So most of them you can work in. And once you have a proven case, you can come to the government for support. So in my case, that's what I did. After nearly 7 years of sweat and a lot of money being spent, we have a proven case.
Mr. Kennedy said plans are in place to package the Wasa rice and 5 kg rice at the end of the year. This rice packaging will be affordable to Papua New Guineans.
We're pushing out that will come on the market before the end of the year. It's called the Wasa rice. It's a small package, just enough for 1 or 2 people, so yeah.
About 40 people are now employed, with expectations it will increase to 300 because of the project expansion. Those who are now employed are gaining valuable skills to farm their own rice on their own land in future. And that ends tonight's Scope. Visit the TV1 online website, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, and leave a like or comment on our Scope stories this evening. See you next Sunday for another edition of Scope.